And young Spiel against Ugo Colasanti, voted best of field last week by football critics. Can he repeat this again to get his side moving away from the most important square? And we find Greg Turnbull, one of those players that have returned from injury, that have lifted the red leg side in the last couple of weeks. Teal, Gallagher to the pocket. Be looking for Paul Adler. Brooksby attempts to pick it up quickly. The rover resting in the pocket has picked it up. This is Steve Hoffman. The first score for the game. Norwood has the running rover in. Steve Hoffman, here's an opportunity to go short. Adler can't quite control it. He recovers beautifully though for a big fella, pops it to the boot, and there's another goal. Norwood 3-2, South Adelaide 2-3.
Within the centre square, fires a high one. Through the half-forward line, Samble there, forced away by Brooksby. Ace couldn't get through. Stewie Palmer likewise. Hoffman around the corner. Goal number 2 to the Norwood Rover. The fourth one for the Redlegs. They lead by 11 points. Gallagher. Jenkins created the loose man. The pass is on, and there's Hoffman. Stephen Hoffman at half-forward, firing long towards the square. Samble's back there. He shepherds the ball through. And goal number 3 for Stephen Hoffman.
And the mustachioed Paul Harradine. The low drop punt again. Centre of attack, Blinky. Oh, great mark. Beautiful grab, David Armour. And this resultant kick, drop punt high. Oh, allows Brooksby. He's got the gallop at the back of the pack. The spoil is effective wide. Jenkins gets it moving towards Aish. Breaks the tackle. The dangerous Woodcock flicks it forward again. Oh, it's 2-1. This back line for South Adelaide playing superbly at the moment. The handball quickly. Paul Adler. He's slugged it through. He's got 2. And once again, Norwood take the lead. 7-3. South Adelaide 6-6.
Deep on the half-forward line. Little movement in Norwood's forward area now as a high one goes in. The big fist away by Palmer, but it's found. Turnbull runs into an open goal, pops it on its way, kicks his second, and Norwood go to a 10-point lead at the 19-minute mark of this second term.
Goes with a hurried soccer kick down towards the half-forward spot, picked up by Paul Adler. Looked at the handball, sold it beautifully, comes around steady, shoots, and that's straight through the centre. He has 3, and Norwood come back. 10-6 to South Adelaide 12-11.
Leg will open up the face of goal. Relatively quiet one. Kick from Woodcock is a drop punt. The distance is there. Oh, it's a magnificent kick. Posts his second, and Norwood get to within 22 points at the 20-minute mark of this third term.
Ruxon followers, knowing this, take position on their half-back flank. Nick Walker waiting. Hawkins, Dave Armour, beautifully plucked off the top of the pack. Taken by Greg Turnbull, down towards his half-forward line again. Aish and Palmer, both stood one another all day. Nailey versus Jenkins. Jenkins, the victor, slams one out. Here's a chance for Albie Menzel. He's clear, pops one up, and Norwood comes storming in this time-on period of the third term. 14-8, South Adelaide 14-13.
Good distance to centre wing. Firing there for Hawkins, but at the back, David Armour. He's pulled down some telling marks around the ground. Taps it forward. Phil Brooksby now uses Stuart Palmer. He goes short, and Cox has got it in the back pocket. Kick to centre wing. Armour up again, and another fine mark taken by him. David Armour now to send Norwood in from centre wing.
Term really piled on goals across their half-forward line. They kicked 5 goals, which is a pretty good effort, and Norwood could only manage the 5. Well, that's a brilliant effort. Out comes Albie Menzel, puts the ball into the pocket. Michael Aish has got the chance. Albie Menzel, since his arrival, has added a bit of sting to the Norwood packs. Prepared to run. Greg Turnbull got himself in the wars in the first half, and I think had a bit of sting taken out of him. Michael Aish, he has one. Could this be yet another? And would have to lead a Norwood revival of about 5 quick goals. He's done the right thing. He's popped it through for his second and the 14th goal to the legs. 14 goals, 9. Charles South Adelaide, 14-14, a difference of 5 points.
It's an important goal for Norwood. It came out of the centre. Hawkins dropped what he should have taken. Could have been a fatal error. Colasanti was the player that opened it up. The speed of Menzel, quick to look. Found Aish loose up into that forward pocket within distance for him to kick his second. And South lead now by 5 points.
Important movement out of the square. Colasanti. Bounce is not good. Turnbull. In goes Colasanti strongly against Robin White. And once again the bodies begin to fly around like matchwood. And it's going the way of Philip Cox. Rover from the centre of the square. We're looking towards his half-forward line with a drop punt. Nice-looking kick. Jeff Linke is blocked out by Ian Stasnowski at this time. And Ugo Colasanti takes a comfortable mark in between half-back and full-back. Little movement, so it's the long kick straight down the centre. Winnie at the back, Stu Palmer. The half-back line for the Panthers has played pretty well today and controlled Wynne, Michael Aish and Roger Woodcock, and it's been a springboard of attack for the Panthers. There's the nice-looking kick into the forward zone. Here's a chance. It went begging for Spiel, picked up well by Colasanti, and the leg's out of trouble.
Butler versus Jenkins. Out the back, Turnbull. The running come from Teal, wasn't a good hand pass, recovers to Jenkins. Now Turnbull, run down by Butler. A long hand pass to Wynne. He's flanked by Jenkins. Through centre wing, the short pass is on, and Aish is on the end of it. Better football coming from Norwood. It was South that dictated the trend in the third term when they got away to a 34-point lead. Norwood coming back with goals in time on to reduce it to 11 points. Now Woodcock. An opportunity for the left footer. He's kicked two as Paul Heaps has come onto the ground to replace Spiel. The short pass again. Well done, Thomas. And young Keith Thomas, the wingman, who kicked one goal in the third term, has an opportunity for Norwood to regain the lead. A 45-degree angle, 40-metre kick. Looks good off the boot. And the lead changes hands for the 8th time in this game for Norwood to lead by 1 point at the 5-minute mark of this final term.
Well, that was a good movement then from Norwood. They put the ball straight along the grandstand boundary, clean disposal, good possession, a strong movement of the ball, and finally cleaned up by that man in centre screen, young Keith Thomas. He kicked one in the third, and that one is a very important one. And now let's see who gets the ball out of the square with 1 point the difference.
Hawkins and Colasanti caught, the hand pass away. Wynne in the back from Palmer. Colasanti emerging, can't control it. Slattery can. No, it's robbed by Turnbull. The kick through half forward. High, out comes Brooksby. The South defence to ground. Baines taken, a high tackle, and South will relieve.
A very strong tackle. It was too high. And a very groggy-looking Jeffrey Baines about to get up to take his kick. Very tough customer is the South Adelaide skipper. Used to that sort of treatment. His kick's a wobbly one, though, and it hits the chest of Danny Jenkins. Certainly not his intention. Looking to the hand pass. He'll go short, wide. Greg Turnbull's the man he's after. Finds him. He's on the half-forward flank. Quite a player in the third term, a dynamic rover in the first half. He'll go short. Mike Taylor's drifted down, a comfortable mark at the true half-forward spot. And Norwood looking much better at the moment. Passing, playing possession football at the moment. Oh, a good take by Paul Adler. Norwood have got a lot of legs in the last 10 minutes. Looking a little fresher than the South Adelaide side. Coming back strongly. Adler's kicked three. One in the first, one in the second, one in the third. Is this his first in the final term? He slopped that right off the side of the boot, and it's gone out of bounds on the full. And Steve Keane thinks he can play on. Peter Mead says, no, you've got to go back over your mark. And the back pocket player from almost alongside of the Norwood point post, forced to kick in. You can see Brooksby short, but doesn't want him, and that's wise. Goes for length with a drop punt. Colasanti versus Hawkins. Hawkins doesn't handle the ball. Aish does handle it well. Brooksby comes in strongly against Greg Turnbull to slam the ball over the line for a throw-in.
Bit of an aside with Turnbull pointing the finger of fate. Brooksby takes front spot. In late went Wynne, bursting through Emery. The kick is long. Bit of an altercation behind play as Teal comes out. Opens it up with a hand pass to Jenkins. No run. Back to Teal it goes. The big fellow short, driving. Turble's on the end of it. Inside half forward. Greg Turble. Lead from Thomas ignored. He goes across field. Taylor's loose there, but he takes the mark. Virtually at centre half forward. A long kick required. No breeze to speak of. Perfect football conditions prevailing today. Michael Taylor. Drop punt, which fades away to the left. Off hands it goes as Phil Brooksby. Over to Mousley. In turn, Keane and South are out of defence.
With one bounce, Keane looks. The kick is smothered. Here's an opportunity. Thomas again, working very, very hard. Kept the ball in the area. Well done, Thomas. To keep the ball on the half-forward line. Danger signs for South Adelaide, not being able to check the fast-running half-forward line out for the Redlegs. Have they really run their races? Slattery puts the ball over towards Emery. It's stolen by Taylor. Over to Albie Menzel. He's got the chance. Kicks long and high into the full forward zone. Here's a one-on-one battle. Sneaking across his little Greg Turnbull. Once again, he's at the bottom of a struggling heap. Picked up beautifully by Paul Adler. The kick is too hurried, however, and goes across the line out of bounds on the full. And South Adelaide, once again, this time it's their turn to be under an enormous amount of pressure across their full back line. Stephen Keane to kick in.
Goes for distance. Beautiful drop punt off the boot. Hawkins is there. Colasanti couldn't reach high enough. Thomas. Slattery through as play-on's the call. In pursuit, Colasanti. Almost runs the little fella down. The kick through half forward. Across the back goes Winter and takes a finely judged mark. Norwood defence. Kicking long now. Clearing the half back line. Colasanti up. Naily overrun it. Colasanti in there again. A stalemate's ruled on the half-forward line of the Panthers. They trail by 1 point. 10 minutes played in this final term. 15-9. Norwood, 14-14 South. Robin White, who brought South alive in the third term, to Cox. A screw punt, penetrating deep. Linky's there, but Stasonowski forces to ground. Taylor deep in defence to help out. Short passes on, finds Menzel.
Well, Taylor's covering an enormous amount of ground in a valiant attempt to lift his side. It'll Albie Menzel, once again, a busy rover. Will have to kick from the back pocket with a drop punt down towards the centre wing position. A huge mass of players, no one can control it. A lot of pushing and shoving going on. Peter Meads pulled a free from the middle of that. It must be going the South Adelaide way. This is Stewie Palmer. 200 plus games to this man. What a great team man he is too, with a drop punt. Down towards his half-forward line. Front spot Winter, over the top Stazza, plucks one out. Here's a chance, an opportunity, goes begging, picks up Heaps with that thigh heavily strapped, can't get his kick. Stasonowski receives a loose hand pass. Teal out towards Greg Nicholson, and Norwood out of trouble. Long towards centre wing, the galloping Turnbull inside the square. He looked a hand pass, thought he might have been off. Steve Keith thought he was too. In brilliant sunshine, nowhere to go. Changed his mind 2 or 3 times. No movement at all, and goes at last with a hand pass to Rover Menzel. Took the eye off the ball. Cox gives him a big serve. He's a very sore rover at the moment. Turnbull across the half-forward line, trying to drag the player, doesn't do so. John Wynn says, go long. He does it. He spots Paul Adler on a long lead. And Norwood looking the goods at the moment. In comes Greg Turnbull again. Unattended, plenty of time, and then blows the whole lot by putting it straight across the goal face out of bounds.
Well, and well he might. And Norwood could well rue that kick. Had an open goal to walk into. Samble in front. Wynn came in to help. Aced the quick kick forward. Keane's there for South. He's got Butler running for him, but uses Phil Brooksby. Through Menzel. Back to Butler. On the half-back line. Butler's caught. Oh, well trapped. Ace went in. Adler's caught. and holding the ball against Norwood. Persistence paying off for Phil Brooksby. Wide he goes to Stephen Emery in the back pocket. He's got the run from Harradine, but prefers to straighten it up with Palmer. It was better football to White in the centre of the ground. Hooking the ball around to Slattery at centre wing. Slattery's quick to pass on, looking for Hawkins. Oh, a well-directed kick. And Rob Hawkins has got it at centre half forward. Baines short. Doubling back for Norwood is Armour. Baines there with him. Armour goes to ground. Cox went in, but the free kick Norwood's way, and David Armour will relieve.
Oh, what a great game he's played across this half-back line. He's put his game together very successfully today. He's won that free, a lot of hard work being put in, an enormous amount of ground being covered by him. He'll kick with a drop punt down towards centre wing. Colasanti, Hawkins the flyer, 15-9-99, and we've played 15 minutes of the final term.
Winter's kick in marked by Nailey on the half-back line. The score's tied for the third time during this game, and they've changed hands on 8 occasions. Nailey goes away short. Harradine intercepting there was Winter, breaking away Nicholson. Goes for safety to the white line on the outer side, kicked in touch, and the throw in between the centre wing and half forward line of South. Norwood led by 4 points at the first change. South led at the big break by 10 points and 11 at the final change. Colasanti and Hawkins. South's way. Nailey breaking clear. He's got a lead from Coleman. Fires over his head. Out comes Nicholson. He's flanked by Winter. The kick goes up to the half-forward line. Turnbull versus Keane. A good mark to Stephen Keane. Lead to the Panthers now at the 17-minute mark of this final term.
Yet another critical bounce for the Redlegs. Colasanti wins the tap. Doesn't go anywhere in particular, but wins the free by barging into him as he got his body under the ball. So the drop punt out of the square, down towards half-forward. Greg Turnbull could be the danger player. Emery couldn't quite control it all. Here's the sharpshooter. Woodcock pops one under the boot. Has he got enough work on it? It's hit the woodwork. One behind. The maker across and moving the ball down through the centre of the ground. Being able to pick out his teammates with a lot of accuracy. Ian Stasinowski this time. To his half-back flank. Picked up by Taylor. He goes down towards Michael Aish. Unattended at the moment. Almost at centre wing. Now comes to the half-forward flank with one bounce. Looks. Goes with an unusual looking kick. He's looking for Adler, finds him. Tucked away into the forward pocket. Gets on with it before the Hordes arrive. Into the square. Battles on. Oh, Greg Turnbull running the wrong way. He's put the body under the fall of the ball. And that's a magnificent mark to the little fella. I thought he's gone for all money after a very bitter and hard first half. Looked as if his legs had gone. But that was committing himself totally to the fall of the ball. You don't expect that from a little bloke running into a pack like that. That takes tons of courage. For his reward, he now faces the goals, only 10 metres out, and he slammed it straight through. Greg Turnbull's got himself his third goal. And Norwood come up 106 points apiece.
Ace was the player that sent that ball in. And Adler, beautiful falling mark. Plenty of endeavour in that. Kicked in quickly and watched Turnbull come in against the tide. Great intestinal fortitude shown by the little fella then. And Norwood now 16-10, level with South Adelaide on 15-16. It's the fourth time that the scores have been level during this great clash at Adelaide Oval. They've changed hands on 9 occasions, and South Adelaide may well rue the day. They were 34 points up midway through the third term, and Norwood cut that leeway to 11 points at the last change.
Well, now the real pressure beginning to build. Hawkins down with the left footer, out to Gallagher, wide to Albie Menzel, slams it out. Hugo Colasanti the chance. He goes long with a high drop punt. Front spot Brooksby, tap forward, chance for Mousley, flicks one out. Keane with plenty of time now. Down towards centre wing, well-directed left footer. He finds Rob Hawkins, getting around Johnny Wynn. The long hand pass is the wrong jacket. Gallagher, Colasanti, Teal, and Greg Nicholson combining well together. Long, Albie Menzel has the running Jenkins. That's where the hand pass goes with one bounce. Stewie Palmer comes in on him late, down towards Michael Ace. Good football, and the Redlegs put their game together very well. Another hand pass over. Albie Menzel. Here's the hero at the moment. Little Greg Turnbull in the forward pocket. Back to co-rover Menzel. Fiddled around with it. Over to Gallagher. And Norwood take the lead by 6 points.
Well, what a way to hit the front. And there was sheer arrogance in the way that Norwood moved that ball forward with handball. They appeared to overdo it. The short pass went into Aish. And here with the movement came. Menzel had run, so had Gallagher. He popped it over to Turnbull and beautifully back between two defenders, over to Menzel, and yet another one to give Gallagher an open goal, his first, and Norwood now lead by 6 points with 22 minutes played in this final term.
South Adelaide will be absolutely desperate in these last 5 or 10 minutes. Lose this game, lose perhaps their chance to play in the major round in about 5 weeks' time. Win. Out wide, chance for Stemper, blocked on the boot by Harradine. Gutsy football being played now by all the players out there at the moment. In goes Greg Turnbull, he's at the bottom of that heap, and we'll see a bounce on the edge of the square. Umpire Peter Mead. Wasn't Turnbull, that was Thomas. Menzel waits the outcome of the big fellas. Taken away by Harradine, the quick kick, oh, beautifully done. It finds Andy Coleman. He's looking for Heaps. At the back, Winter. Greg Nicholson, the running player, receives the hand pass. He can see Jenkins. He uses that player on the half-back flank. He can see Woodcock, who yells at him to kick the ball long. He does just that, straight along the line. Beautifully done to Michael Aish.
Oh, a pinpoint pass from Danny Jenkins, in complete command of the situation then. Michael Aish on the half-forward line. Going for distance. Firing in high. Samble's back there. Brooksby the spoil. Through goes Menzel. Hooks it around the corner. South Adelaide back there. Shane Butler. Butler's kick is fouled after disposal. Play allowed to go on as Stuart Palmer's got it on the half-back line. To Coleman. Back to Palmer in the double play. Past Gallagher, but he runs into Colasanti. Out comes Armour to Gallagher. Into the path of Taylor. Taylor's kick. Wide looking for Adler. Beautiful body work by Phil Brooksby to hold up Norwood.
Yes, and the fullback standing solid under tons of pressure at the moment. The wobbly punt kick down looking for Harradine. Doesn't find him. Plan is called. Taylor again. That's been a terrific captain's effort in this final term. Mousley in strongly. Emery in to help. Good shepherding by Gary Mousley. Has allowed Brooksby clear, but Emery will take the ball right across the goal face and put it out. He's looking for Shane Butler. Loping after him is Jeff Samsel, and the ball will tumble over the line in front of Paul Harradine. And what a game this has turned out to be. 21 minutes gone, and Norwood have snatched the lead by 6 points.
It's been pace all day. Big assist over the top from Palmer. Naily working hard, but it's pulled away from him underneath. And a stalemate ruled on Norwood's half-forward line. And the South player in a lot of bother over in the boundary line appears to be Shane Butler. Bounce on Norwood's half-forward line. Tap back by Hawkins. Naily tapped it into the open. Harradine the kick forward for South. Slattery coming up and marks in the centre of the ground. The big kick through half-forward. Kuss is set, but Stasinowski hits the ground. In goes Colasanti. Breaks clear. Arm of the hand pass. Jim Teal breaks clear. And Norwood go back into attack.
Down towards their half-forward line. It'll now be Menzel. Oh, where's the little players now? For the Redlegs are really coming alive. Greg Turnbull, this man Albie Menzel, have taken tons of punishment. They've persisted in their running game. They've made plenty of plays in this final term to really lift the side to be in the position that they are at the moment. Frank Spiel waiting for an interchange on the benches. Shane Butler prepares to come off. Albie Menzel, that screw punt will fall short. Oh, coming the wrong way was Baines. In comes Brooksby strongly, slams onto that left boot. Long and wide, a chance for Baines. He won't get there. Gallagher versus White. Gallagher slams it forward. Here's a chance for little Danny Jenkins. Baines bears down on him. Well shepherded Woodcock. He comes out, sweeps the hand pass out, put his teammate in tons of strife. The kick is short. Keane, Baines, Mousley, intercepting Jenkins, over to little Greg Turnbull, ducks and weaves, comes onto the goal face, kicks high, and the wind's done the rest. He's floated it through. A terrific effort, 4 goals to him. 18 goals, 10 Norwood, 15 goals, 16 South Adelaide.
Well, Greg Turnbull has played his heart out today, but that's probably the best passage of football you'd want to see from an individual, particularly fighting back after great knee operations, propping around, opening up the face of goal and kicking his fourth to give Norwood breathing space, a 12-point lead.
Now, has South Adelaide gone? Is this the last chance to make the 5? The tap down, Slattery trying to work the ball out of the square. Little Albie Menzel once again. He comes wide to Danny Jenkins. The running Greg Nicholson played a very safe game in his back pocket. Quite content to keep the ball moving towards the line and tap it over. South Adelaide, now they face the challenge. Be able to get that ball in very, very quickly. Just haven't had the movement across their half-forward line in the last 10 minutes, quarter of an hour. Albie Menzel working hard, ping for holding the ball. Probably one of South Adelaide's best players in Robin White. He'll take his kick from the centre wing position. Heaps run himself to a standstill. That leg heavily strapped. Stemper out to Captain Taylor. Long towards his half-forward line. Woodcock, Aish, Keane, Mousley, Slattery grabbed high and will take his free on the edge of the square.
Wayne Slattery with time running out for South Adelaide. 3 minutes of time on gone. Wide to Mark Nailey. Thomas closes, but he's cleverly around. He and Samble. Drives in short, and Hawkins quick to play on. Trying to open it up. Pops it over to Coleman, but they've run into the corner. Colasanti. Out comes Bruce Winter. And finally it's Teal. The kick away to centre wing. Thomas with Harradine in pursuit. Palmer against the tide. Cleverly back to White. In turn, Nailey. South build it up. Oh, not a good kick into Baines. The hand pass work to Taylor. Now Aish. Cleverly past Keane. Looking for Woodcock. Not well directed, but beautifully bursting through. Woodcock goes towards an unprotected goal. Phil Brooksby goes back, and it's through for a behind. And that could be a vital point to Norwood. They lead by 13 points.
Oh, Brooksby desperate trying to get that ball. Couldn't quite control it. He claims that he's gone over the line. Or has he... Yes, he's speaking to Paul Adler, the full forward. He's going to ask him to come back further as the fullback prepares to kick in. And Brooksby, time ticking away into the time on period. 15-metre rule is applied, so Brooksby goes into the square. The flyer was Nailey. In comes Taylor strongly. Through goes Thomas. Plucking it out is Greg Nicholson. He's at half forward. Beautifully grabbed. An opportunity for Stu Palmer. A long way from home at the moment. South Adelaide in diabolical strife. As Slattery goes with the left foot. There's the siren. Norwood have won this very important game at Adelaide Oval. Score 18 goals 11, 119 points. Have defeated South Adelaide 15 goals 16, 106.
1980 grand final, Norwood versus Port Adelaide. Your commentator Ian Aitken.
Nat and Dell at 6'4" versus 6'3.5", and Nat at 6'4.5", and the whistle is gone, and another bounce down will take place under the guidance of umpire Des Foster.